Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, first of all, to the entire UP Defense Industrial Corridor team. Thank you, RKS Bhadoria sir. Thank you, Colonel Sanjay Singh sir. Thank you, Rakesh Mishra sir. And it is really my pleasure to have the presence of a visionary leader like Avasthi sir in the audience. And so I would like to start with a brief introduction about my company, Datum Advanced Composites. So at Datum, we design, develop, engineer, and manufacture advanced lightweight composite systems using conventional, automated, and additive manufacturing processes. We are currently providing services such as advanced composite manufacturing, design and engineering, material characterization, professional training, additive manufacturing, technology development, and market analysis to our customers in different domains. Talking about the domains that we serve in, the industries that we serve in, we are the largest consumer of our products and services is the aerospace and defense sector. Apart from that, we are also prevalent in the automotive sector, in the marine sector, healthcare, renewable energy, basically any and everywhere where composites are used, we are trying to tap that market and get ourselves into it. We've been operational for last 5 quarters, and in last 5 quarters we have extended our customer base by quite a lot. We are working for IIT Kanpur both as a supplier and as a partner on some of the developmental projects going on there. We are catering to the likes of the largest UAV OEMs in the country, such as IoTech World Aviation and Idea Forge Technology. Uh, in February 2021, we signed the MOU with the Uttar Pradesh Expressways Industrial Development Authority to become an investor in the defense corridor, and we are committed on our MOU, and we have already planned our site, and we'll soon be starting the process of land acquisition. In last 5 quarters, we've achieved 100% customer satisfaction. Any and every queries from our customers have been handled within 24 hours. We are an investor in the defense corridor. We are successfully penetrating the Indian composite market. And we are a preferred supplier of composite design, engineering, and manufacturing services by prestigious institutions such as IIT Kanpur. So, talking about the global composites industry, so my talk here would be the startup scenario, but from a composites industry perspective, because that is what our line is. And currently, more than 58% of primary aerostructures of any modern airliner is made out of fiber reinforced polymer composite materials. In 2021, the global composite market size was 88 billion US dollars, and by 2026, the global composite market is expected to grow at 127 US dollars with a CAGR of 7.5%. Asia Pacific region is the largest composite market by both volume and value. Apart from that, I would like to indicate a little bit about the Indian composites market and where we are lying with that. So currently, the Indian composite market is expected to be at 1.9 billion dollars by 2026. The per capita consumption. So this is just a comparison of the Indian composite market with other national composite markets such as China and America. The per capita consumption of composite materials in India is 0.3 kg, whereas in China it's 2.5, and in US it's a whopping 11 kilograms per capita. So the difference is quite huge, and we need to address this situation. And I think the entire holistic development of both startups, academia, MSMEs, and the bigger industries is required to achieve this. So, talking about startups in the aerospace and defense industry, my good friend Milind has already briefed us about the numbers of how many startups are there in Uttar Pradesh and how well they are doing. And what I would like to say is that Atmanirbharta in aerospace and defense sector is very critical for the nation's holistic growth. And programs like Innovation for Defense Excellence (IDEX) are key and are a good booster for indigenization of, for example, drone productions in India. And the entire frames of these UAVs are built out of composites. Uh, so about the government of India has provided about 3,794 crores, roughly $600 million, for giving credit support, capital, and interest subsidy to startups and MSME in India. So definitely there is a clear understanding that the government, both the state and the central government, is supporting this startup ecosystem, and the government of Uttar Pradesh is working very hard, and they are updating the policies every now and then, especially the state startup policy, which is recently been updated to give out more financial support, which is required for capital development by the startups. So, as per my understanding, what should we do next in the startup scenario in aerospace and defense industry? So, to establish a holistic composite industry in India, I think new startups should look into developing certain technologies, such as getting into the business of developing tooling which is used for composites, developing several equipments which are used for manufacturing during manufacturing of composites, such as for example, ultrasonic leak detectors. We were looking for one last year, and all the quotations and everything, every information that I received from all the vendors based in India, they're basically traders. No one is making them here, everyone's importing them and reselling it. So we need to look into if a startup can develop that, then that would be great. This is just one example. There are several things, several equipments, several tools which are not Indian made, are not available. So we need to rely on imports for that. Developing a variety of raw material, especially in the domain of reinforcements and pre-breaks, is very critical. As soon as you move a little bit outside the conventional reinforcement raw material which is used for composites, you have to rely on imports. So these are a few points that I wanted to indicate. Apart from that, existing industry must foresee how their existing products or services can benefit the rapidly growing composites industry in India. For example, metal component manufacturers should develop and dwell into how they can support the composite tooling industry, and I think that would be a really good start. So when I say that I have these points on what should we do next to develop the composite industry in India by the means of startups, I should also indicate what will be the possible probable challenges that one would incur, which are, when you're working with the composite parts, especially for the aerospace and defense domain, the tolerances are very tight. The leeway of having any error on any parts is very tight, and by far, in my experience, the amount of scrappage that there is in the composite industry, I have not seen it anywhere else. Apart from that, the manufacturing processes involved in both manufacturing the raw material which is used for composites as well as the actual panels is very complex. So having as Mr. Pandey also indicated, that having a skilled set of human resources is very important, who can handle those sort of processes, because at the end of the day, it is people who are making the products. The industry is currently very comfortable with importing the raw material. That it is a common phenomenon which I have seen in my industry throughout India, that once people start the process of importing raw materials from the likes of Taiwan or Korea or Japan, not so much from China, they're not keen on China, but from other countries, they are heavily relying on that, and they're not even looking for an alternate Indian supplier for that product. And one of the most critical challenge that would occur for a startup that wants to venture into the composites industry is the rigid quality assurance requirements. So in aerospace and defense sector, where majority of the composite materials and the components are used, the requirement for a strict quality management system is there, and getting certifications such as AS9100 and NATCAP is very difficult and requires a very lengthy audit process. And again, there are supply chain issues. This is something I have again and again mentioned in my different talks, that there is a supply chain issue when you're working on these processes in India. I have worked in UK before, and being there, it wasn't that difficult to source the raw materials, the tools, the equipments. But here in India, in last 1.5 year, we've been struggling to get some basic of the basic supplies, which are required for manufacturing. The supplier base is not that strong, and I think startups, if they can focus on diversifying within the composites industry to manufacture different sort of tools and specialize their way into that, then I think that would be a great way ahead. So yeah, I'll keep my talk very brief. So that would be all from my side. Thank you once again to the entire Defense Corridor team. Thank you, my fellow panelists, and thank you to the audience for listening to me. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.